Hello, this is AnlineOffline. Welcome back to another Casual's Quick Guide to Call of Duty Mobile. For today's video, we'll be covering the RAAL MG. Introduced in Season 11 of 2024, the RAAL is an automatic belt-fed general-purpose machine gun from Modern Warfare 2019 and reappeared in its 2022 sequel. There is also the very futuristic XM325 from Black Ops 7 and all of its creative liberties. RAAL MG stands for Reconnaissance Auxiliary Assault Light Machine Gun and is based on the MG338 by Sig Sauer. In 2017, US SOCOM requested a new machine gun chambered in .338 Norma Magnum, something between 7.62 NATO and 50 BMG. Interest in such a weapon arose from another US SOCOM competition that resulted in the Barrett MRAD adopted as the Mark 22 PSR and ASR. Sig Sauer submitted their design, which used a short-stroke gas piston and quick-change reciprocating barrel. Fellow contenders in this ongoing LMGM competition include True Velocity and Ohio Ordnance. The former unsuccessfully tried to sue SIG over similarities in their designs. SIG designed a variant in 6.8 that won the NGSW program as America's new squad machine gun. SIG also won a competition for the standard infantry pistol and battle rifle, but not without controversy, as it seems that they have left a sour taste in some people's mouths and other body parts. As of now, it seems that the Israelis are testing them in Gaza for the Americans to judge. Back to mobile. Phase damage per shot is high, killing in 3 to 4 shots. The fire rate is the slowest in its class and tied with the DRH at 571 rounds per minute. The base bullet speed is solid for multiplayer at 950 meters per second. With all factors combined, the RAAL's base time to kill is faster than average at most ranges. Since it has the impact of a sniper rifle, it is very capable of harassing hostiles at range, especially those with high flinch. Headshots are 50% extra damage, the chest is 20%, and the arms and stomach are 10%. In its first range, you can 2-shot with double headshots. You can extend its 3-shot potential indefinitely by mixing in 1 headshot or a combination of chest shots. Moving on to barrel attachments, the Trifold Light 5 shortens your ADS time in exchange for reducing your bullet speed to 760 meters per second. Line Breaker reduces recoil, increases range, and should improve your bullet speed to over 1000 meters per second, but it slows down your ADS and movement speeds. Arc Forge increases your range to a lesser extent, but should increase your bullet speed to over 1200 meters per second, while only hurting your ADS time. The reason for emphasizing should is that the last 2 barrels are still bugged. In truth, it only increases your bullet speed to 1000 meters per second. In terms of mobility, the RAAL is the game's slowest weapon in various aspects. The ADS time, sprint speed, and walking speed are the slowest in the game. The sprint out and strafe speed are the slowest for an LMG, but not as slow as snipers. It doesn't matter how many mobility attachments you use, it's not possible to make a nimble gunsmith. Sure, you could swap to a melee to get around faster. However, the drop time is tied with the PKM for the slowest in the game. The raise time is tied with the MG42 for the second slowest behind the PKM. Thus, frequently knife switching or cycling through streaks is cumbersome. The base pack size is the standard 100 for LMGs, and can be extended to 150 with additional penetration or reduced to 50 for more dexterity. The Bruin still maintains the slowest empty reload in the game that's not too fed, with the RAAL as the runner-up. However, the RAAL has the slowest tactical reload. As for accuracy, the Bloom is one of the best and has an initial spread on par with burst weapons. The initial hipfire spread is very solid and equal to the MG42. In my opinion, the iron sights are solid. If you aren't a fan, you can try deleting the weapon assets to force it to use the RPD's model instead. Recoil is very manageable as it's almost exclusively vertical. The RAAL seems to lack any attachments that affects flinch, but this is a non-issue as it's tied with the LK24 for the lowest base flinch of any weapon in the game. The only LMGs that can achieve lower flinch are those with the Cold War or Vanguard style gunsmith. So how different is our RAAL from its mainstream counterparts? To say that it was a late addition to Modern Warfare 2019 is an understatement. It came out a couple of months before Vanguard. Compared to us, Modern Warfare had a slightly slower fire rate, more horizontal recoil, slower sprint out, slower bullet speed, and an open bolt delay. However, they did have a much faster ADS and movement speed, and that's not factoring in TAC sprint. 2022 was mostly the same. It had low recoil with lots of idle sway and a 75 round default mag that you couldn't reload cancel, but it had the best LMG hipfire. 2023 featured the Jack Protean kit, which made its full auto worse, but semi-auto better. For the XM325 from Black Ops 7, I'll just take the opportunity to rant about its strangeness. Instead of slowly firing a full-powered cartridge, it's a fast-firing weapon chambered in a caseless 5.56 cartridge like an LSAT, but belt-fed from a bullpup Pecheneg-style mag. Even stranger is that you can equip a helical mag like our Hades. And just recently, you can akimbo them. I expect no less from Treyarch. When our RAAL was released, it was a buggy disaster, and I don't know how the devs fumbled the bag so hard. Instead of the expected base bullet speed, it only had 1/3 of what was intended. To put this in perspective, it was in the same ballpark as the subsonic Odin and machine pistol. Barrels aren't as terrible, but both the Linebreaker and Arcforge remain only 1,000 meters per second. To start 2025, the RAAL received a buff to its stomach multiplier to match its arms, improving its 3-shot potential. Then it received a buff to allow for 2-shot headshots like heavy ARs. Yet, the only standout gimmick for the RAAL was the ability to achieve 100% penetration through thick cover. If you ask me, I wouldn't have thought much of it until the addition of wildcards. It's one of the weapons that benefits the most from using Overkill. You can sit back, camp, and have a spam shotgun as a secondary to shut out K-lines and melees. Or you can use it as a secondary and surgically wallbang campers that you can't corner check with a fast strafing SMG. Season 7 gave it 3 buffs. Its low flinch was further reduced. The bloom was buffed such that you can't go wrong with it. The impact was increased to match bolt action rifles. The only gun with more impact is the subsonic Odin. In Season 9, Overkill was buffed so that not only do you swap weapons faster, but you also get a brief speed boost while doing so. And as of the 6th anniversary, the ADS and movement speeds were buffed. Previously, plenty of guns could walk faster than you could sprint, and stray faster than you could walk. They still are sluggish, but not unbearably so. We may have other belt-fed machine guns, but the one that's most similar to the RAAL is the PKM. They're both slow in their fire rate, mobility, handling, reloading, and swap times. They're both high-impact infinite 4-shots with solid bloom. The RAAL's 2-shot potential is unlikely, but it has an infinite 3-shot potential. Yes, it's guaranteed up close, but other machine guns like the PKM can kill faster with their potential time to kills because of their faster fire rates and by virtue of being hit scan. On paper, the PKM is the more well-rounded, faster killing standalone weapon, but with Overkill, the RAAL can have a more specialized role. The only other infinite 4-shotter in its class is the M4 LMG after its buff. Much of what was said regarding the PKM applies to the M4 LMG to a more extreme extent. It's more of an automatic rifle than a true machine gun. It's mag-fed, so the reload times aren't too slow. However, the multipliers aren't as generous as either the PKM or RAAL. The iron sights aren't ideal, and the bloom needs to be kept positive. For what it's worth, the RAAL is good at what it does. It doesn't really need any more buffs. So what can we suggest to make the RAAL more fun? Well, first things first, why has it taken over a year to fix the bullet speed on the barrel attachments? They've been bugged longer than the USS-9 has been meta. It's even stranger that they recently made the same mistake again with the Task Force barrel on the LC-10. But we'll save that for a later time. As for actual content, ever since Warzone Mobile was made a non-priority, COD Mobile began the process of inheriting previously geek-kept content. They could add all sorts of grips and optics from its 2022 counterpart, But above all else, I want the Jack Protean kit as a signature barrel attachment that converts it into semi-auto. Pretty much the opposite of the SO14. Would it be as good as the SO14, SKS, or Type 63? Probably not. Would it be as easy on thumb players like the Odin? Absolutely not. But it would be something different from the usual full autos. Perhaps I could find a niche as a semi-auto with max penetration. But hey, that's just my opinion. This has been a Casual's quick guide. Feel free to suggest what weapons you want to see covered next. My name is On, and I'm off.